Welcome back to Therapy Thursday. Today we're going to talk about something that we're fairly passionate about, ankle dorsiflexion. There's two ways to measure that. One is what's called open chain, meaning my foot is not on the ground. It's the ability of me to pull my toes up towards my face. You can do this seated or standing. The second is called closed chain, where my foot is firmly on the ground. This one is way more important, and you can see as I put my foot on the ground, I now have a lot more dorsiflexion available. So how do we measure this and what amount should we have? If you look at the research out there, there are two differing values. For open chain, you only have a top end of about 17 degrees to be considered normal. For closed chain, having your foot on the ground, that number is much higher. It stands around 35. We like to see our patients and clients here at the Proactive Athlete at least at that amount, if not over 40. Two quick and easy ways to measure it. To see if you have an issue side to side, we start with a simple test called the knee to wall test. So my toes are up against the wall and I'm just pushing my knee in. I'll continue to move my foot back until I get to the point where my heel would have to lift up off the ground to be able to hit the wall further with my knee. So say I'm around there, I would draw a small line on the floor and compare it against my other foot to make sure they're pretty equivocal. But to get an even more accurate measure now, there's technology. So we just went online and downloaded a simple app called an inclinometer. There's tons of competitors out there. There's even research on some of them, like one called the Tiltometer, but it's a paid-for app. With this, I can just place it right on the long bone of my shin called the tibia, and from here, bend forward as far as I can, and you can see that it's actually giving me a readout as I go. So my dorsiflexion was a shade over 50 degrees with that, which we would consider at least adequate, if not good. I would compare it to the other side to make sure that they're equal side to side. Try and download that app. Check out your dorsiflexion. We'll see you next week on Therapy Thursday.